a nervous teen in court, a judge who laughs at him, prosecutor ready to win. But one small video would turn everything upside down. This is the courtroom twist you won't see coming. The courtroom smelled like old paper, polished wood, and quiet judgment. It was the kind of place where lives bent or broke depending on who spoke last. Every bench was filled. Eyes followed every movement. And at the center of it all stood Malik Johnson, a 17-year-old black teen whose hands shook as he clutched the edge of the defense table. Malik had never been in trouble before. No arrests, no suspensions, no warnings. Yet here he was, charged with armed robbery, accused of threatening a convenience store clerk with a gun that was never found. Across from him sat Judge Harold Whitmore, a man in his early 60s, known for his sharp tongue and harsher sentences. He leaned back in his chair, peering over his glasses at Malik like a disappointed schoolteacher. "Mr. Johnson," the judge said, his voice dripping with skepticism, "you seem very nervous for someone who claims innocence." A ripple of quiet laughter passed through the gallery. Malik swallowed hard. His court-appointed attorney placed a calming hand on his arm, but the damage was done. Malik felt small, exposed, like the room had already decided who he was. The prosecutor painted him as another statistic, another troubled teen from a rough neighborhood. Surveillance footage, grainy and unclear, was played. A hooded figure, similar height, similar build. That was enough for them. Judge Whitmore shook his head slowly. "I've seen this story before," he muttered, loud enough for the room to hear. "Young men thinking they're smarter than the law." Malik's mother sat in the back, clutching her Bible, tears streaming silently down her face. The gavel hadn't come down yet, but Malik already felt the sentence forming. By the second day, the courtroom felt colder. Judge Whitmore's impatience grew more visible. He interrupted Malik's attorney repeatedly, sighing loudly, rolling his eyes whenever Malik hesitated while answering questions. "You expect this court to believe you just happened to be near the store at the exact time of the robbery?" the judge asked. Malik's voice cracked. "Yes, sir. I was waiting for my bus. I work nights at the car wash. My manager can." "That will be enough," the judge snapped. "Excuses don't equal evidence." The prosecutor smirked. What no one knew, what no one had bothered to ask, was that Malik had been recording his bus rides for months. Not for court, not for protection, but for his media class project. Malik dreamed of becoming a filmmaker. His phone was always capturing something. That night, in the holding cell, Malik replayed his videos again and again. He hadn't checked the date before. He hadn't thought it mattered. Until now, at 10:42 p.m., the exact time of the robbery, his phone captured something else entirely, something powerful. On the third day, Malik's attorney requested to submit new digital evidence. Judge Whitmore frowned. This court does not appreciate last-minute theatrics, but the law required him to allow it. The lights dimmed. Malik's phone footage appeared on the screen. It showed Malik sitting at the bus stop, talking to the camera nervously about an upcoming exam. The timestamp was clear, undeniable. A murmur spread through the room. Then the camera shifted. Across the street, reflected in the glass of a parked car, was the convenience store entrance. And standing there, unmasked, unmistakable, was the arresting officer, slipping something into the trash bin behind the store moments before police claimed to find probable cause. The room went silent. Judge Whitmore sat upright. Malik's attorney froze the frame, zoomed in, badge visible, face clear. The prosecutor's smile vanished. "What is this?" Judge Whitmore whispered. The defense didn't rush, didn't gloat. They let the truth breathe. Further footage revealed messages Malik had unknowingly captured. Audio from across the street, of the same officer discussing quotas, promotions, and easy collars. The prosecution objected wildly. Too late, the judge's face reddened, not with anger at the injustice, but with the realization that he had mocked the wrong person. An internal investigation was immediately ordered. The officer was placed under arrest before court adjourned. Malik stood still, stunned. as the courtroom that once laughed now stared at him in awe. Justice had shifted. News cameras crowded the courthouse steps by evening. Headlines broke nationwide. Teen exonerated after video exposes corrupt officer and judicial bias. But the shock didn't end there. Emails surfaced, transcripts, complaints buried under Judge Whitmore's signature. Cases just like Malik's. Patterns no one wanted to admit. Within weeks, Judge Whitmore was forced to resign. Malik walked free, charges dismissed with prejudice. His mother collapsed into his arms, sobbing, not just from relief, but from years of fear finally released. Months later, Malik stood behind a camera, not in court, but on a college campus. His story had earned him a scholarship. His footage became a documentary viewed by millions. In his closing narration, Malik said softly, "They saw my nerves as guilt, my silence as weakness, but truth doesn't need permission to speak. It only needs a chance." Justice had been served not by power, but by persistence. And the courtroom that once tried to break him became the place that exposed itself instead. And that's how Malik Johnson, a nervous teen once underestimated and mocked in court, turned the tables and exposed the truth. From fear and doubt to justice and opportunity, his story proves that persistence and courage can change everything. What do you think about Malik's journey? Did justice truly prevail? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss more stories of resilience, truth, and triumph over adversity. Remember, even when the odds are stacked against you, the truth has a way of speaking for itself. Stay strong, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next story.